Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. You are watching the Kaiser Report. It's January 15th, and it is a Thursday. And I'm looking forward to the rest of this day. It's a little cool here, and we're going to make the best of what winter has to bring. They're forecasting some snow coming through on the weekend, so we're going to get the wood stacked up and get ready for an incoming snowstorm for the weekend and some severe cold. There's a lot going on. The Democratic rot that is in our Congress and in our state legislatures are unbelievably mind-boggling in the fact that they believe that by causing and supporting insurrections in cities such as Minneapolis and the state of Minnesota is just unbelievable what they can think and try to get away with, all within sight of mind with the upcoming midterm elections. They are going to try and convince us all that they're right, we're wrong, and they want back in power, and they can fix everything. All while we fully understand that it was the Democratic Party that gave us unaffordability, and now they want to run on a platform of affordability. And the platform that we need to have illegal immigrants in our midst. And we should not fight against getting rid of the criminal element that dwells in our sanctuary cities. It's almost incredible at the violent behavior, largely made up of liberal young women that don't understand what in the world they're talking about.
There's been a lot of talk online about white liberal women. They've been radicalized, they've been mobilized, and they really care about their neighbors.
How are we treating our neighbors? Is it okay that our neighbors are getting taken off the streets? How are we treating our neighbors?
We love our neighbors. When it comes down to loving my neighbor, I'm just going to love my neighbor. So.
Therefore, I will subject my baby to the freezing cold to be around my fellow lunatics. But is it really that bad? Is their bad reputation really earned? Ah! Okay, who are this woman's friends telling her this is a good idea? Surely there must be someone who can help this.
Well, it's official. Trump has taken over the United States as a dictator.
Don't come on my page and say that people should be in this country legally. Don't do it.
What about Minnesota daycare, you stupid motherfucker? And you are racist.
Why do they consistently get this close to the camera when acting crazy? Remember this one?
We're losing our democracy! Wake up!
Part of it is being like a white woman that I'm privileged and I have a lot of privilege.
That video physically hurt me. I am in pain and I'm not sure I can heal from that. Anyway, despite Renee Good getting killed, these people still went out and tried to block ICE from doing their jobs.
I'm giving her a warning to not interfere with what we're doing, to not make a bad decision today and ruin your life.
Whoa, bad
okay,
decisions.
thank
That's
you.
Funny coming from you.
Okay, alrighty, thank you. Have a good day.
I hope you have a terrible day.
Go ahead! Shoot me! Shoot me! Shoot me!
Stand by, we're running the name. We're going to refer this case over for enforcement action.
I'm just a mom, please.
You got it?
Please, please, please. I'm just a mom, please. I'm just
Kylie?
a mom. Yes, please. I'm just
You
a
are
mom.
just, you turn around and get out of here.
Isn't that amazing? These people are freedom fighters, and the second they face any pushback, I'm just a mom, please let me go. It would be best for everyone if they just went back to singing songs.
Trust black women, they lead the way.
Lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, and queer, we all have a place in this world.
This is too painful. I actually can't take anymore. The answer is so simple. We need to be opening up thousands of scream clubs and encouraging every white liberal woman to enlist. This problem will be solved overnight.
Once a week in front of Lake Michigan, a group in Chicago gets together to do this. The gathering is hosted by Scream Club Chicago, and now there are 22 Scream Clubs in different cities around the nation.
You'll see that here a little later in our Stupid Town segment, because that's where it belongs. How you can be as uneducated and uninformed as some of these people that are being paid to protest in the street, sent from other states in some cases, and trying to cause harm to law enforcement that is out there to just do the job that they were tasked to do. It's an insurrection, folks, when you stop and think about it. There has no other explanation. We have a president right now that may have to exercise that particular constitutional act of cleaning up an insurrection. While the Minneapolis police, led by a police chief that is the biggest poof in the world, that runs from his own crowds that they put in the street and support against our federal government. That is an insurrection, and that police department should be taken to task. Does that mean that every person on that police force is going along with this? No, but when the police chief gives you the orders to stand down, you must stand down. We watched this through the George Floyd riots that they got away with because we had a weak administration in charge of things at that time. We have a very strong administration right now that just wants to do the cleanup of what was allowed to happen under the Democratic rule for 4 years. Yet they would like to make you believe that everything is Donald Trump and this administration's fault, going right to the affordability things that they propagated. The unaffordability came under Democratic rule. Why in the world would you think about reinstituting the same people that gave you unaffordability, gave you heavy gas prices, drove the cost of transportation and not fixed the transportation problems for 4 years? Yet you have those same people, in some cases, running for higher offices than the offices that they messed up in over those 4 years. Not to mention any names, but Pete Buttigieg comes to mind. Kamala Harris has just purchased herself a beautiful piece of property for $8 million, while no one is asking the question, where did that come from if you already owe $20 million to your campaign fund? Minnesota violent behavior is an insurrection. The Illinois governor has now come out and wants to do the same thing in his state. All of the democratically led states, or what we call the blue states, are going to be involved in an insurrection of one sort or another against our immigration enforcement people, who, by the way, are just doing the cleanup job of the despots that we allowed to just enter this country and rip us off. Nick Shirley did a part 2. He's back in Minnesota. It aired last night. Even Fox, one of the Fox channels, picked it up. It's much further reaching than you will ever imagine. The sheer ripping off of the taxpayer in that particular state and our federal government, the grants that were given to help children. You know, it's like Nancy Pelosi. It's all about the children. No, it's about lining the pockets of a Somali population that was brought in there for voting reasons to make sure the Democrats and the ultra-liberals stayed in power in that particular state and turned a blind eye to the thievery. They were coming out of Minnesota on airplanes with millions and millions of dollars in the suitcases and had a blind eye turned to it because most of the employees in the airport there are of Somali descent. The graft and the grift is so high and so deep that it will take a long time to get through it all. All while the Democrats are going to run for office again on affordability. Whose affordability? It certainly isn't the mainstream population of the United States of America. Let's just take a look at some of the nonsense that is taking place in the streets. There was another shooting last night.
Overnight, violent crashes between federal agents and protesters in Minneapolis after a federal agent shot a man during an immigration operation. According to the Department of Homeland Security, a federal law enforcement officer shot a Venezuelan man who they say fled a traffic stop and then attacked the officer, adding that the officer fired to defend his life, hitting the man in the leg. The department also saying 2 other people assaulted the officer with a snow shovel and broom. The injured man is in custody. He and the officer were taken to the hospital. The scene quickly descending into chaos. Smoke and flashbangs filling the night sky. Agents deploying chemical irritants as demonstrators sent fireworks in their direction. ABC affiliate KSTP was on the ground as crowds gathered around the city.
The smell of those chemical irritants is definitely in the air. You can see a group of ICE agents right now. It looks like they have at least one person in custody.
This is already a very tense situation, and we do not need this to escalate any further.
Officials calling for peace, acknowledging the city is on edge.
For those that are taking the bait, you are not helping. And you are not helping the undocumented immigrants in our city.
It comes 1 week after the fatal shooting of 37-year-old American citizen and mother Renee Good. The incident sparking protests, violent scenes playing out on a daily basis, agents firing pepper spray, dragging people from cars. This newly released video shows the frantic moments as heavily armed federal agents used a battering ram to enter an immigrant family's home in Minneapolis.
Can you put the guns down? There's kids in this house. There is kids in this house. Show the warrant first.
37-year-old Garrison Gibson, an immigrant from Liberia, was facing removal for a decade-old drug conviction. But his lawyer says he has been checking in with authorities for years.
So if he's this dangerous person, then why are they letting him walk around?
And once again, the mayor here in Minneapolis saying the situation here with thousands of federal agents here on the ground is simply unsustainable. He says his officers are working tirelessly, responding to this chaos instead of focusing on basic 911 calls. George.
Faith Abube, thanks.
How many more people have to be maimed or even lose their life over the ridiculousness that is blocking the federal agents when the police department in that city should have been making the arrest and calling ICE, and that takes away the need to have extra ICE people on the streets trying to exercise these warrants. If there are warrants issued, it's up to the local police department to act on it and then call the federal government and say, we have so-and-so and so-and-so in lockup. They're on a wanted list with a warrant or on a deportation list with a warrant, and then we can just go and pick them up quietly. They want this insurrection to take place for a myriad of reasons. The biggest being a cover-up of the fraud that took place in that state all along. Take a look here.
Here's how it all began.
What about the Minnesota fraud hearing? You didn't show up for that. Do you think you should have?
Why should I have?
Well, it happened in your state. Don't you want to defend your position?
There were people from my state that were there.
Okay, but why not you? I mean, there's allegations that you're complicit in the fraud. Wouldn't you want to show up to
Why would
defend
there be an allegation that I'm complicit? How would I be complicit?
Well, what about Tim Walz?
Do you just ask stupid questions? Is this your thing?
Do you just ask stupid questions? Is this your thing?
Big old butthole.
I'm curious to get your thoughts. I mean, there's a lot of controversy around the issue. $9 billion in fraud in the state of Minnesota.
$9 billion?
You don't think so?
Really?
Yeah, and counting. Probably more, honestly. You think that's fake news or what?
That is more than half of the resources that are allocated.
You have a firm grasp of the obvious.
So you genuinely, your brain has told you that it is possible for half of the resources.
I'm just going off of what
for our public service to half disappear is what you're saying.
Countless Minnesota state representatives, whistleblowers have come
listen
forward.
To yourself, though. Just think about that for a second.
Maybe if you showed up at the hearing, you would know that whistleblowers are being retaliated against for exposing the fraud.
Gotcha. Who is tracing whistleblowers?
Minnesota state officials, Tim Walz. Anyone who dares to speak out against the government.
Tim Walz is doing something to whistleblowers?
Yeah, why is Tim Walz stepping down if he's, innocent?
That's a good question.
Why isn't he running for re-election?
Because he's had 8 years to serve as our great governor.
He was going to be vice president of the United States if Kamala won.
Kamala won.
It's not Kamala.
And now he's stepping down as governor. Any comment on that? You don't think he's maybe complicit?
He is focusing on trying to make sure our state remains great. All right. Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
Please read.
Please read.
Challenge accepted. The next day.
Congresswoman Omar, yesterday you told me to please read when I asked you about the $9 billion fraud that you denied is happening, but I have it right here. I read. Look, Chairman Comer opens hearing on massive fraud scandal, $9 billion.
That's what Comer believes because he's as smart as you are.
You're an asshole.
It's not just Comer. It's Scott Besson, it's federal prosecutors, it's House Oversight, and it's Minnesota State reps.
You could have that, ma'am. I think you need to get examined because your brain has been fried in some way. And it's not okay. I really hope you get some help.
Who the talking?
Here, okay, ma'am?
I'm sorry, I couldn't go to the learning centers that you're running over in Minnesota, but I think you should perhaps read what's actually
one of those learning centers.
I need one of those learning centers.
Yes, see it.
Evil, crazy bitch.
Tension will erupt and continue to erupt as long as we allow the state politicians and the mayors of these cities to lie, cheat, steal, and cause an insurrection to take away you seeing what's really going on. And it's all aided and abetted by fake news like CNN and MSNBC. We talk about that ad nauseum here all of the time. But we have more and more of videos that we could show you to point this out, but it gets old. It gets old for the fact that people do not realize what really is taking place. It's not funny, but it is. That you could have people get away with the crime that has been committed and shown to you by an independent journalist that is now gone back for part 2 and is exposing the transportation industry that we paid billions into that didn't take place. Where is it written in our Constitution that we should protect Somalia and its citizens? And don't give me, they came here for a better life. They came here for the free-for-all. And they're taking it back to the life that they left by airplane loads of cash, one at a time. How many more times does it have to be shown to these liberal people that are in the streets, paid in some cases, to cause these riots? The Minnesota Fraud Express is what I call it. And there is little to be covered up there, but they are trying to cover it up and make you believe that it's the big, bad, mean federal government that's asking, how did you rip us off for $9 billion? While you have a congresswoman sitting in Congress that can't answer the question of where she amassed $30 million in her personal accounts. She's been accosted by reporters asking the question, and this is the kind of answers that they receive. She has gotten away with a lot, and I don't even want that. She's the tip of the iceberg for sure, because we don't know what the rest of the squad that sits in our Congress is capable of or have gotten away with, based on just what we know now about Illan Omar. The Fraud Express in Minnesota is at full steam. No one has taken to task going out and arresting the people that are involved. The people that are in these storefronts that have electronic cash machines to send money all over the world that they're getting in the guise of being a transportation for children, for sick people, Medicare. It's a blatant ripoff. But no one is arresting anyone. No one's going to these addresses to find out that the organization that's licensed to that address is not even findable. They don't exist. They exist on paper, and they get a check every month from the government in the state. 78% of that population that runs these Somali communities are on welfare while they're collecting, as business owners, money from the programs that were set up to help poor children they're unseen. They don't exist. How many more exposés do we need to do before somebody goes and puts a stop to it? It's crazy. Then you have other states that are preparing to do the same thing. The sheriff in Philadelphia came out the other day with a diatribe that no one understood. Let's just look at that.
Good afternoon. I'm Rochelle Bilal, the sheriff for the city and county of Philadelphia. And I say her name, Renee Good.
Renee Good.
Renee Good.
Renee Good.
Renee Good. I get it. This should not have happened, but we're here today. Let know that law enforcement professionals, real ones, not the fake made up ICE, probably Trump's new army to attack citizens of the United States. Did you hear what I said? No law enforcement professional wears a mask. None. None. Those that come into our communities wearing a mask to commit crime, I'm thank God for our district attorney, Larry Krasner, who said he's going to lock them up. And I'm saying now, we are not going to whisk you away for them to hide your identity, because when you do it there, you're getting arrested there.
That doesn't make sense.
No whisk away for them to hide you. None of that here. None of that here. Law enforcement professionals do not shoot at moving vehicles. I'm not saying fleeing, because she wasn't fleeing. She was getting out of the way. Law enforcement professionals do not stand in front of moving vehicles invoking an action that is illegal. No, we don't. And so we stand here today with all those who stand against the made-up, fake, what you can call ICE, professional law enforcement. I don't call them none of that. I call them made-up, fake, wannabe law enforcement, because what they do is against not only legal law, but the moral law. So I'm with the DA, and we will work with them. If any of them want to come in this city and commit a crime, you will not be able to hide. Nobody will whisk you off. You don't want this smoke, because we will bring it to you.
I have no idea what that means.
And the fake, whatever they call them, because I can't say the name, but the criminal in the White House would not be able to keep you from going to jail. Renee Good should be here today. And to her family, we are saying law enforcement professionals are not the ones here in this city that would do that. But here's the last thing that I would say. Law enforcement professionals around the country do their job, and we have been fighting for years to build that bridge between us and our communities. You have one negative nutcase that causes this problem, and now we all have to fight again to let people know law enforcement works with communities. These crimes would not be down if we didn't have communities work with us. Thank you.
It's hard to believe that a law enforcement person with that many stars on her collar could be that out of touch with reality. But yet, there it is. It's there in front of you, as plain as the nose on your face, and no one has been taken to task. Pam Bondi, where are you? Why are you not moving on the fraud, the deception and deceit in these democratic states? What are you waiting for? This is the question of the ages. Why do we have a blank arrest sheet? We have all these hearings going on about the corrupt processes that took place in our government, even by some past presidents. No accountability. They scream for the Epstein files, they come out, and no arrests. No one taken to task. But we can have Senate hearings that last for days, that accomplishes nothing. The Democrat rot in our government is going to take this country down if we continue to allow the nonsense that has been uncovered go without repercussion. I don't understand it. It is very difficult to understand. But we have film after film and parody after parody, and no one wants to move on holding anyone accountable for the crimes that have been committed. The crime of stealing our tax dollars goes unthwarted. They'll have a sacrificial lamb somewhere along the line that'll take the abuse for it. but people like Tim Walz, who should have been jailed by now, based on his rhetoric alone, and the mayor of Minneapolis that every day incites more riots, more chance for people to get hurt so they can say, see, it's Donald Trump that did this. They are so confused and so under the Trump derangement syndrome of sickness that they cannot see what's plainly in front of their face. Yes, Tim Walz is guilty. Yes, the mayor of Minneapolis, Frye, is guilty. And probably half of the people that sit in Minneapolis on various boards that let this transpire under their watch should be held accountable. And it's not just here. Wait till we get into looking into California. And the reason that Pritzker is so up in arms in Illinois is probably there's even massive fraud taking place there. We know that Chicago is a murder capital of the world and continues to be, but they don't want help from the federal government. But I'll tell you what, if they exercise the clause in the government that will allow Trump to send the troops in to fix all this, then it will get fixed. It's an insurrection. It's a revolution against a sitting government that I never thought that I would live long enough in this country to see. But yet it takes place every day. And the media wants to shade it so you stay upset, stay nervous, but keep paying your taxes. And allowing the Democrats to lie through their seats in Congress so they can get back in power to let more of this happen. And God only knows what they would do if they got back in power. Probably bring everybody that has been deported back here and call it a vote. Call it the Maryland Father. They're trying to heroize, as they did with George Floyd, a criminal behavior that caused a death. We're not buying this show any longer. The mainstream, real thinking people of the United States have had enough. Let our government work at what it needs to do, and if you're a city that is telling your police department to fight against it, then you have a problem. That police chief in Minneapolis should be disbarred and taken down to a beat cop. Why he would do what he's doing with his police department against our government is a tragedy at best. So, before we go into Stupid Town today, let's just take a quick visit to our segment called The Faith Corner.
Heavenly Father, I come before you today asking for your strength and your wisdom. Lord, you know the challenges I face, the decisions before me, and the burdens that weigh on my heart. Give me strength when I feel weak, and remind me that your power is made perfect in my weakness. Fill me with courage to keep moving forward, even when the path feels uncertain. Father, your word says in James 1:5 that if anyone lacks wisdom, they should ask you, and you will give generously. Today, I ask for wisdom to make the right choices, to walk in your will, and to discern the voices around me. Let your Spirit guide my steps. May I not lean on my own understanding, but trust in you with all my heart. Lord, be my strength, my wisdom, and my ever-present help. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
I hope you all prayed that prayer along with us and asked for the wisdom to understand, which is a very difficult thing to do today, is try to understand what's going on inside the minds of a sick population that believes that going out for a couple of bucks a day, putting your life on the line for some despot that needs to distract over here what's taking place here. Happens all the time. But let's just take a quick exit here.
I am leaving this country, the United States, in 213 days. My son and I are moving there, and I am spending day after day researching schools, where to live, how to afford this, visas, taxes, everything. And I'm angry. I'm angry because I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to leave this place. I shouldn't have to walk away from everything I know. But between, my son got death threats in school recently, and we know what that can escalate to, and of course the schools aren't handling it the way they should. Between looking for jobs for, month after month after month, with everything that's going on, with what they're doing to immigrants, with what we are doing to other countries, I can't be here anymore. I can't breathe here. I am sitting here, though, worried because I've got 2 other kids who are in college here, and they're not ready to leave. And I want to make sure that I've got a place where they can make a soft landing if they need to get out. I'm dealing with all of this, and none of us should have to. And I know that there are people that can't leave, and I'm sorry. I am. That doesn't mean you get angry at those who can. I also empathize with the countries that are being inundated with immigrants. I am sorry. But I grew up in an immigrant-heavy city. I loved it. I loved the diversity and everything. I'm not trying to ask anyone to assimilate to me. Okay, I am moving, and I expect to fully have to assimilate into that culture as much as I possibly can. But for 1 second, understand why people are leaving. This isn't just like a gimmicky thing. I'm not just leaving because ooh, Spain's cool. It is, and it's beautiful. But that's not it. We're literally escaping fascism. And you're not here, and I know you're not privy to everything that people are going through here. And we can talk about that on other videos, but I am just telling you, this is becoming an absolutely inhospitable place for people. And it's time to go. But oh my gosh, I shouldn't have to. And this is so freaking hard, and I haven't even really started yet. I guess I have, but I haven't. I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling, but if you want real, this was real.
everyone. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz here. You witnessed in Minnesota yesterday a tragedy, the death of Renee Good on the streets at the hands of a federal agent. You also witnessed last night a beautiful vigil. A beautiful vigil, a peaceful vigil. I've been very clear. We need a couple things here. We need Minnesota to carry out this investigation to make sure that the professionals at the BCA and local law enforcement who's in charge of law enforcement make sure we do the investigation. And so with that, I would ask for all of us to continue to raise our voices, but do so in a manner that brings about that sense of community. I'm going to ask folks, if they can, to rise up, to make sure that we're being very, very clear about this, that we expect our constitutional rights to be respected, that law enforcement is local, and that we are not going to go quietly. We need Minnesota to carry out this investigation.
This guy is an idiot. And I'm a knucklehead at times.
This is proof stupidity is on the rise.
Do you think America is great?
No.
What countries are greater than America?
Germany, Sweden, like countries that have free education, health care, like nobody should be homeless.
Do you think America was founded on good values?
Wait for it.
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
I mean, everything that's happened to develop America has been pretty bad, so I don't know.
Just America being is pretty bad?
Like discovering America and things like that. It was like a bad outcome. I mean, we had to kill Indians, but it's okay.
I mean, that's a special kind of stupid.
Well, I hope you got a few chuckles out of that. It's not a very fun thing that's going on and taking place in this country now. It's my understanding that the Affordable Care Act that they got through the House yesterday was turned down by the Senate. And thank God for that, because we'd have gone right back to the same fraud and abuse that existed under the last. And it would not be any cheaper for you to get health care under the Affordable Care Act. As it was in the past, it would remain the same. Our president has an idea of letting you buy your own health and supporting that. So let's listen and see what's best for us, John Q. Public, here in the United States, and not immigrants that should not be on our programs, bleeding dry, in some cases for no reason at all, our social programs and our health programs. As it is right now, anyone can go to an emergency room, get treatment, no questions asked. So I don't know what the Democrats think they're going to fool you any longer with. But as long as Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are, together on this, they'll keep pushing for it. These people should be looked into as well. But anyway, it's Thursday. We're approaching another weekend rapidly, and I'm hoping that you all will enjoy it. But for your own well-being, stay away from the news channels. You'll get misinformation every time. There are no truths any longer on mainstream media. You have this platform, you have Rumble, you have X that you can go to and sift through for yourself the pros and cons as people post. And you have to determine with your own good judgment what you believe is the truth and what they tell you that is too good to believe, it is. Have a great rest of this day, and remember to stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned to us here for more reporting and a look-see at the stupidity segment of these United States. Bye-bye now. God bless you all, and stay in prayer for the day. Bye-bye.